I must be bad, I must be wrong, I must have been a mistake. Hey, it's Frank, registered dietitian, and I'm here today to continue the talk on what delayed my coming out. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about how religion impacted my coming out. So, when I was growing up, I was in the church sometimes. So, growing up early in my life, I was told that being gay was wrong. You could go to hell. It was just something that you shouldn't do because it was totally against the Bible. With that being said, as a kid, of course, that caused you to compartmentalize and to just keep things to yourself and just withhold your true, authentic self. And that's what I did. I just withhold who I really was because it was wrong. It was so puzzling to me how it could be wrong, and if I was God's creation, then if that was wrong, then he did something wrong in creating me, and so he messed up. And so that caused me to think, well, maybe I should die, or maybe I didn't want to live. And so I had this self-hatred toward myself because I was wrong and I had these thoughts and things that were not right. So that really impacted me early on. They would always talk about these terms like Adam and Eve versus Adam and Steve, and so that would really impact me too, because it was like, hey, again, this is all wrong. You're not supposed to do this. It's supposed to be man and woman, not man, man, woman, woman, those kinds of things. So, with that being said, I know that growing up, I may have been influenced by a culture known as the DL culture. I would suppress who I was, date women because that was the right thing to do, and then find men in different means, for example, whether it be on apps or whether it be just, on different social media accounts and things like that. But it was a similar kind of profile to me. They would be men that were considered DL or closeted, so they couldn't, reveal themselves because of the fact, for some reason or another. It could have been multiple different reasons, but I was choosing not to be my authentic self at the time because I thought that it was wrong. And so here you are with those kinds of things and the risky behaviors associated with that, which could really dig you in a real hole, diseases, drugs, all that kinds of stuff. It's really a risky culture to put yourself in a circumstance which may lead you to potentially develop some disease or anything like that, just because you feel like you can't be your authentic true self because what was said in the Bible or what someone may have quoted from the Bible, which influenced the way you thought and felt. So I will say that as I grew up, I did not act on any sense of gayness because I thought that it was wrong, and I just suppressed it. I just held those feelings in, and I didn't act on it because it was totally wrong. And so I remember specifically when I was younger and working in a grocery store, and I would be checking out, I was a cashier, so I was checking people out as far as, they come through the line and I take their order and, roll it through the runway and all that type of stuff. However, some men that would come through the line, I would be like, oh wow, in my head. I think that's when it started to trigger to me that, okay, I'm finding this person attractive. I had suppressed it for so long that I was like, wow, and so that's when it really was starting to hit the kind of peak as far as like, hey, these feelings are suppressed, but now they're kind of coming to a head where I'm like, whoa, they're so strong and everything like that. And so, but the thing is, I continued to suppress it because at that time I was still in high school and I felt like it was wrong and I didn't know what to do with it. And even at that time, I was oblivious to think what guys could even do together sexually because I didn't know what they could or couldn't do. I really didn't have much of an imagination related to that. In summary, hopefully you can understand and see some of the things related to being gay and religion, how it impacted my delay in coming out. Of course, I felt that being gay was a sin, was wrong, and then you would go to hell, and so that was one reason. Um, Also, just the culture surrounding religion and the thought that you just needed to be opposed to everything that was Christian if you were gay. And then even the unsafe practices that I may have participated in order to try to make an appearance as if I was straight, but on the actual thing that I was doing was being more being gay but feeling bad about it. But I know that as I've grown up that hey, God is love and God is not trying to divide people.